Hey, what's going on, everybody? In today's video, I'm talking about why I sold all my watches, why I'm selling my car, and why I'm downgrading my lifestyle to that of like a decent, like middle class, salary level lifestyle, while continuing to grow my business and introduce more profits into the business. And I'm just gonna shoot very straight. Like, I'm not gonna BS. I'm not gonna pretend this is for some reason. It's not. Like, the first one is honestly that it's so distracting. Okay, and I gotta be honest with you, when you first get into entrepreneurship, you see a lot of the flash. You see the cars, the watches, you might even see like the women, whatever. And that's what I saw. Like, I saw all of that stuff, and I decided, you know what, that's what I want to do. And you start to realize how much of a lost path that is so quickly. Like, you start to kind of go down that path, and you realize just how silly it is. It's just like a bunch of guys living out their like 8-year-old, versions of themselves, like dreams. But you shouldn't live out an 8-year-old dream, because you're like a man now and you should have actual desires that make sense. And, I've learned that as far as I've come, I still on some level have this desire to just kind of be seen as a certain level of successful to like my close family and friends, or to literally like the physical people in my proximity. Like, I want people to like look at my car and see that. And like, this is just vulnerability. Like, I am killing that part of me because it is keeping me from focusing on what actually matters. Like, what actually matters to me is putting another $1 million in profit in the bank after tax in 2022. And I cannot do that unless I eliminate all the distractions, including my luxuries. And there's other distractions too, but I feel like the one that would make the best video is my luxuries, right? People are like, oh, he sold all this stuff. How cool is that? Like, I figured I'd just make that video. But there's other things too, and I'm not going to get into all of them, but luxuries is one of them. And so simply by selling everything, I've put like another 100 to 150 grand back into the business bank account for us to operate with, okay? And what's so freeing about that is now, all of a sudden, I can actually make decisions again. It's like, I don't have to worry about anything other than growing the business. Does that make sense? Like, I hope this makes sense to you guys. When you grow and you start to buy things, like my furniture and my watches and my cars and my apartment. I'm also downgrading my apartment. Like, I'm getting a cheaper apartment. This place was cool, and I'm honestly gonna miss it. Like, I will miss it. I will miss it, and I will miss the watches. Like, I shipped out my Daytona today. It's like my first Daytona. It was a gold and steel Daytona. I got it at like my first $50,000 profit month. It meant a lot to me, but nowhere near as much does it mean to me as living extremely frugally and disciplining myself to do so. And it will be painful. I'm not saying that this is something that I am going to be perfect at. I will probably slip. Who knows? Maybe 2 years from now, I'll like lease a Ferrari. I don't know. But right now, with where the business is at and where I want to take it, like, we're doing well. We'll do anywhere from like $100,000 to $200,000 a month. We keep like 70% of that, 60% of that or so. And my job is just to continue to grow that ship. But I cannot grow that ship if I'm thinking about what the business can do for me. So this is another point that I want to make in this video. It's kind of like that JFK quote, don't ask what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. It's the same thing with your business. You are severely capping the growth of your business if you are always asking, what can my business do for me? Instead of asking, what can I do for my business? And if you see the business's money as your money and not your client's money that they've given to you that you can multiply to get more clients and better the client's experience, whose money has been given to you, then you've got the wrong view of it. And I'm just starting to notice this like theme. Like, when I study like, billionaires or multi-hundred millionaires, like, they all live pretty simple lives, and they have to. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to grow. And I have, honestly, like, I felt like I started to have the Midas touch. I'm like a young guy and I make a lot of money, so I'm like, oh, I can let in complexity. Maybe these other people can't, but I can, because I'm I know me, and I was so wrong. I was so wrong. So, moving forward, like, I'm selling the watches, selling the car, downgrading my apartment. I'm moving into it's like $1,800 a month, just a decent apartment here downtown, and it's actually where my fiance is going to move in with me when we get married. So I'm just going to be living there. You're going to notice a huge change in my office. Okay, so again, it's just going to be, instead of this right here, it's just going to be a very basic little apartment. And some people will say, oh, Trey, but what about your environment? Oh, Trey, what about the luxury is making you feel a certain way and giving you a certain identity. I'm like, what's going to give me the identity is seeing the money in my bank and like feeling the quality of my relationships with my team skyrocket, because now all of a sudden they see that I'm serious. And that's another reason why I'm doing this, is leading by example. When you start to have a team and they are all in with you in your business and they don't have another source of income and they go all in with you, you start to realize how silly it is for you to have things like personally. It makes no sense for you to have stuff, because like that team is so much more valuable than any car or any watch or any vacation. They're so much more valuable. And that's another reason I want to lead by example. Another thing is the clients. Like, I don't really like that when people pay me, they're like, oh, like, is he just like gonna buy another watch? I don't like that. I don't want that. I want to demonstrate and show, like, no, literally I live off of $6,500 a month. And when Lily moves in with me, we'll probably live off like $8,000 a month, just to give us a little bit more room. And even that, like, what I'm gonna do is any money that isn't spent at the end of the month, I'm just gonna put it away into a personal investing account. So like personal investments, not business investments, personal. So like just putting money away. And then all the money that my business makes every month, all the profit, once we're done with the books, I'm gonna take 30%, put it away for taxes, take another 20%, put it away into different investments. So I'll probably put away like maybe $15,000 to $30,000 a month into who knows what. I might just like put it aside and like buy like corporate real estate or something. But like, I don't know, guys, I'm just looking at 2021 and I'm realizing how messy I operated. Like, full transparency, we grew this massive program, we got people crazy results, but I was just like doing a million things. And it kind of sucks, because it's like I know what I could have done in 2021 if I'd have been focused. And I'm really proud, just to make sure we're very clear, of my first 7-figure year. 2021 was my first 7-figure year, which is insane. And now it's like a hygiene standard. It's like now I can't go beneath 7 figures in a year. Like I'm going to do at least 2, maybe 3 million this year, even upwards of 5. Like it just depends on a few key things that we have to crack as a company. That said, like I'm now realizing that the multi-hundred millionaires and multi-billionaires that I've studied, and even that I've gotten to like meet and speak with and like ask questions to, they all are so adamantly focused on keeping a very, very, very simple lifestyle. And they protect it like, like it's their greatest asset. And I now see why. Because even though we did $1 million in 2021, we could have done like 3. Full honesty, we could have done like 3. And this year, even though I will do like 2 or 3, if last year we'd have done 3, we could be aiming for 6 or 7 this year. And it's my fault, because I need to simplify my life and reprioritize why I'm doing this. Am I running this business for me, or am I running this business because I love it? And you guys hopefully can see the difference in those 2 reasons. Is it about you, or is it about the thing? Is it about buying another car, or is it about, making another millionaire off of your clients? Which is it about? And I believe that people will invest more happily into me moving forward, knowing that literally every single dollar that you spend is staying in the business. And I'm not going to spend it on anything. At least not for a long, long time. Because right now, I'm too young. I'm too young with too much momentum to not be just storing cash and investing it smart. So, yeah, guys, I just wanted to share this lesson that I'm learning, and like, I'm selling everything. Like literally this morning, I shipped out my first watch, and tomorrow I'm probably gonna ship another one. I'm selling my Submariner, which actually I made a good profit on, which I'm happy about. I spent like $9,000 on it. I'm selling it for like $16,000, which is cool. But all these little things, dude, they eat at you. They stop making sense so quick. It's just like, why do I need this? It's just like a thing. And every time I look at it, I'm like, that money could be money on ads, or it could be like bonuses for the team, or it could be like money I spend on like a coach that helps me break through some like limiting beliefs in my business, right? Like I am nowhere near the point where I can start pulling out money for personal, nowhere near. And I just want to challenge you, like if you're bringing in like $100,000 a year in your business and you're spending like 50 on yourself, just be warned, you will continue that pattern as you scale. I was spending probably about like 30% on myself, maybe 40%, just random stuff. Like, I didn't even flex it online. I just would be like, oh yeah, I'll buy this or I'll buy that. It was literally just for me. But I realized how dumb that was. Now I'm lucky that I was spending it on assets that can be considered hard assets. Like, even though cars depreciate, even though watches only sometimes appreciate, like, I still regret it. And some people would say, Trey, you make like 100 to 200 grand a month. Like, what's 150 grand back into the business? You don't understand. Until you're at that point where you have these little things sitting there just pulling at you, saying like, oh, I want you to, like, literally every watch that I have inspires me to buy more watches. You understand? Every car that I have inspires me to buy more cars. You see what I mean? Every luxury that I have, this apartment inspired me to buy more luxuries. That's what it did. And it's useless. It's such a waste of my time. Because if I can't focus on client experience, team and team culture, and breaking through my leadership hurdles and making good content for our platforms, then like, where's this business a year from now? Where is it? It's nowhere. It's not about me. And this is a lesson I think a lot of, especially young male entrepreneurs, and I know we've got plenty of other demographics, but there are so many, honest to God, like toxic examples of what it looks like to be a successful entrepreneur in the entrepreneur space today. And even if my platform stays nice and small, even if I only have, like 20,000 subscribers on YouTube, I don't need 100,000. I don't need to be a big influencer. I just want to like subtly, in my own little way, in my own little corner of the internet, represent, hopefully, to a few key people what it looks like to run a business the right way. At least in my eyes, the right way. And some people will say, oh, Trey, but it's about balance. You got to maintain your mental health. You got to don't be so scarce in your thinking. You can spend more on yourself. That rhetoric that you might be thinking in your head is what this industry has sold you on. Seriously, it's what the industry has sold you on. Balance doesn't have to be expensive bottle service in the club. Balance doesn't have to be buying a $10,000 watch. Balance doesn't have to be having a loan on a car you can't afford. Balance doesn't have to be spending $300,000 on a Lamborghini when that money very, very, very well could have been reinvested in the business to continue to grow it. That's not balance. It's really honestly not. Now, let me put a caveat to this. Will I always, always, always be this frugal? No. This is the season that I need to be in. The business, I'm so painfully aware of how much further this business could be than it is right now. And because of that, I'm sacrificing. And I just want you to I want you to watch this video as a documentation of the fact that I am sacrificing, okay? So anyway, that's the video today. I'm selling everything, downgrading. You can expect within about a month or a month and a half that I will have sold everything, and that by mid-February, I'll be in a new apartment. And I am honestly more excited about it than anything else in my entire life ever. Like, it and getting married excite me like crazy. And what's cool is, I've got a fiance that's on board. Like, she's like, yeah, let's live off of like $7,000 a month. Like, let's do it. Like, she's all about it. She loves the budget, and I do too. And also, the final reason why, and this is another reason I probably should have included towards the beginning of the video, dude, taxes. Taxes are a beast. And if you aren't extremely frugal in your personal life, you gotta understand, as a business owner, you get taxed like twice. You get taxed for business profits, then you get taxed for personal income. So the profit of your business is taxed, then any money you spend on yourself is taxed. So it's like 30% of both. So you just get like hammered, and they stack. Taxes stack. I wrote a $95,000 check to the IRS, and that was personal income. And I'll show that here. You see a little screenshot of that, just for proof. And that's one of a few payments that I'm gonna pay between now and April, and that's pretty stupid. Running an online consulting business is not about owing a lot of money to the IRS. It's not about having to figure out your personal budget, business budget. Running a consulting business, in my opinion, is about having a very simple life, doing meaningful work for people that you care about, while profiting highly and building your wealth the right way in the long term. That's what I think running a consulting business is about, and that's what I teach people to do. So anyway, just documenting this. Appreciate you guys, and hopefully this inspires more people to do it. Send this video to some of the influencers that you follow in the space, and encourage them to do it too, because I think it's necessary, and I think it's a necessary thing for, especially the young entrepreneur space. It's just so silly, like how much noise I see, and a big part of that noise is lifestyle, and it's just so useless. You're not going to find anything on the other side of that. There's no extra happiness there. There's no extra meaning there. As I've made as much money as I have, of course, I'm not worth like 10 million or anything, 20 million. I'm worth a good amount of money, but not quite that yet. It forces you to contemplate like why you're wanting to do it. And honestly, if I'm just completely honest, I do it because I love the challenge of it. I do it because I want to, and I like the growth. And as a secondary, I do it because I want to provide abundantly for my future family. And if I'm not doing that, I feel like I'm failing. And unless I make this change, I will not have the sort of financial freedom that I so desire for my future self. So yeah, that's it. Hopefully this inspires you, and I would encourage you to go do the exact same thing and let me know if you do. I'll see you.